Hi YouTube, my name's BillieB, and so far my channel has been about crafting with me. This is craft I've been really getting into, rope crafts. It's fine. My grandson said, "Gram, you gotta show your face." So here's Grammy's face, boy. Love you. Okay, so we do all kinds of different things in my household. My husband is very much into electronics, and he designs his own boards, and he actually has his own little store where he sells his custom boards. It's called Burgess World Custom Electronics. We will be adding videos here that he does on his boards, so that when people purchase his boards and have questions, he can refer them to the videos on how to put them together, or how they function, how they work, and what they could use them for. So that'll be good for him. We are getting ready to sell our house in the city. Yes! So excited once this corona passes. But I want 20 acres. I want to play in the woods. I am a wilderness survivalist at heart. I did many years in Girl Scouting. I did many years in Boy Scouting. I did way more years in Girl Scouting than Boy Scouting. 34 years in Girl Scouting. I had 11 years as a child in Girl Scouting, and the rest as an adult, as a leader. I taught outdoor skills so leaders could take kids camping. I taught canoeing. I was a canoe instructor with the American Canoe Association for about 10 years. And then that got too bad for my knees because, to properly canoe, you got to be on your knees. Gives you more control stability. And I just didn't have the knees for that anymore. And in Boy Scouting, I started as a Cub Master. And then my Girl Scout troop got really strong, and then boys started showing up at my Girl Scout meetings. My Girl Scout troop was cadets and seniors. They aged 11 to 18. Big kids. They're fun. You just have to know how to handle them. Don't let them push you around, but let them know it's their troop. So they would go to school, high school, and tell these wonderful stories of the things that we were doing within our troop, so boys started showing up to troop. That was a problem. So, to combat the problem, I became a venture crew leader, which is age 14 to 21. With my venture crew, venture crews are co-ed. I had my Girl Scout meeting for an hour, and then it would turn into a venture crew meeting, so the boys could show up an hour later, and then we could do things as a venture crew. And I think I did that 3 years, and then I ended both troops. All the kids were graduating out, and I had some other things going on, and it was time to step away. I had to go back to work, and I just couldn't donate all my time. Life happens. You have to adjust. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm working on my 20-year plan. And my 20-year plan is to have my own business. For a long time, that was to own and operate a campground. But due to my disabilities, I wouldn't be able to run one long. Uh, there's a lot of physical labor in owning and operating a campground. So I had to become realistic. So all my different jobs and what I did, my husband and I sat and talked, and I decided, okay, I still want to play in the woods. I like teaching people things. I enjoy it. I'm very good at building a team that functions. Whether people like each other or hate each other, it doesn't matter. It's all about getting the job done and how to work with people, whether you like them or you hate them. So I want to do multiple things with my business. One, I want a barn. I want to run a venue that people can rent out the barn and have weddings, reunions, parties, whatever. Fine. And that for me is just cleaning. Making sure it's clean when they get there and making sure it's clean when they leave. Okay. That'll bring majority of the money in to help with maintaining the barn and also to help with some other things that I'd like to do in my barn. I would like to, during the week in my barn, offer team building events for businesses, whether it's small or large. I can be pretty loud. I can speak to 450 soldiers at one time and be heard. And after working in an amusement park, I can be heard by more than that. I'm loud. Anybody who knows me knows I can be really loud. I can scream all day and not lose my voice. I have many, many people who could attest to that. I've done it. On top of team building, I want to have a little side thing in the evenings to work with veterans. I want to have a small 503c to work with veterans. If I'm not teaching team building, the veterans will be more than welcome to come in and work in the barn during the day, during the week. If there's nothing going on the weekends, the veterans would be welcome there. They would be notified of what the schedule is for the building. But I would love to teach veterans and their families outdoor skills, advanced outdoor cooking. Have you ever baked in a cardboard box? I have. Have you ever baked a chicken in a backpack? I have. It's delicious. Meatloaf and a watermelon? These are things I'd love to teach people. Lashing, how to make your own furniture when you're out in the woods. Hey, things you need. Nice hobbies to have. Nice knowledge to have. Just tucked back there at the back of your brain. You never know when it'll come in handy. So that's kind of what I want to do with veterans. Also, if scouts, wherever my property ends up being, want to come in and learn, bring it on. All age groups. The only time there will ever be alcohol in my barn will be during venues And if they purchase the liquor license, they bring the liquor, they take the liquor. I am not providing alcohol. I don't drink. I got better things to spend all that money on. And having and living on the property where my barn is will make it much easier for me to run it, because I do care for my elderly mother. She is 89. She lives with me full time. We love having her. She's a joy. She's really pleasant, and at 89, she's healthier than all of her children. It's disgusting. But we love her, and I want to be close if she needs me. And, that's the way it is. In a couple of years, my niece, her husband, who care for my oldest sister, they're all going to build and move on the property and work with me at the barn. And they're veterans too. My niece and I both went in the military the same time. She went Air Force, I went Army. And she met her husband well in, and I met my husband well in. So we're 4 veterans. So it just works out. Once they come, her husband is a minister. He can marry people and stuff. So that'll be nice to add as an option for the barn. Up until they come, you'll have to find your own. She's got a degree in counseling, which will help with working with the veterans. And she's very organized, which is so exciting. When it comes to running a business and stuff, I'm very organized. I like to know where everything's at, exactly how it's done. Everything's written down. Everything is to a T. This is your job description. This is the finances. This is the supplies. This is what we need. I'm really anal about that, but that's okay. But that's how you get things to run properly. If somebody asks me where something is, I can tell them exactly where it is because I know. You got to run a good business. You got to do that stuff. But I also want to have fun with it. So to prepare for this, my husband and I have been working at 1, saving money, 2, getting the experience needed to be successful. 20-year plan. 20-year plans take 20 years. So we started this 17 years ago. We've been working very long and hard for this. My final thing to do before jumping into my business was getting a degree in business management and entrepreneurship. On Christmas Eve, in the mail came my degree for business management and my certificate for entrepreneurship. I'm ready to rock and roll. Except we're in a really big house and I've got to do some things before I put it on the market. Minor stuff. Paint. I want to go from a 3-story house to, I got a finished basement, a first floor to a second floor, to a ranch where everything's on one level, because I know I have medical issues, and all winter long I can't go into my basement. I can't go upstairs. I just can't physically, because nobody needs to try to pick my big butt up off the floor. So I want a ranch. I want everything on one floor. Plus my mother being 89, who knows how much longer she's going to be able to do stairs. So we're going to get a ranch house with 20 acres. If it has a barn, fine. I'll pay a little more. If it doesn't have a barn, I'm going to pay a little less because now I got to build a barn. I'd like to have a pond. My husband loves to fish, and we have 3 grandsons, and he so wants to be able to fish with the grandsons. And that's fine. So while I run the business, he'll help me on weekends and evenings, but during the day, Monday through Friday, he will work his real job, which will cover our living expenses. Because he loves what he does, and we're going to let him do what he wants to do. And he lets me do what I want to do, and we support each other, and we work well. Most of the time, he works from home. So if he has a slack day, he may help. If he has a busy day, we won't see him, and that's fine. But between his real job and his little business, that was a hobby, we took years and years and years to find him his hobby that he just loves. And he's one of those people, he has one thing that he loves to do. Electronics. Okay. I get bored with stuff, and I've got to move on. I got to switch things up. Make jewelry for a while. Maybe I did a bunch of those 5D painting things with the little beads. Tons. I can do the big ones, the really big ones, in about 3 days. And we're talking maybe 3-4 hours a day. But if you can't move a whole lot, you can't walk and you can't stand, what do? I'm not going to sit there and drool watching the damn boob tube. I mean, it'll be on in the background for noise, but I do crafts. I've got to keep my hands and my mind busy. What else have I done? The rope crafts, sewing, cross stitch, plastic canvas. I am not into crochet, so I know how to do it. I don't enjoy it. And knitting, I got a knitting machine. I just slide that thing back and forth. That's awesome. To really do it by hand, no. I cannot get even stitches for the life of me. So once we get our new property, a lot of videos will be based on what we're doing to prep the barn. Whether it's building a barn or cleaning out an existing barn, y'all get to see that. It won't be just crafting on this channel. And I think I needed to let y'all know that. I will have guests occasionally, which will probably be my husband, my children. And my children are all adults. If you're lucky, you'll get glimpses of my lovely grandchildren. I love them. I don't know about the rest of you. If we could go straight to grandbabies, that would be awesome. But you got to raise kids first before you can have grandbabies. For those of you who don't have grandchildren, they are the best. Spoil them, give them back. Yes. All right, y'all. That's a little bit more about me, where we're going, where this channel's going. I hope you enjoy. I hope you subscribe. Like the video if you like. But things are going to start changing up. I do have some minor. I think they're not minor. The one is really long. I'm still editing it. But it will finish up the rope crafts. There's 3 videos to finish up the rope crafts. And then I don't know what I'm going to dive into. maybe have you hang out while I clean out my garage. It hasn't been cleaned out in 2 years. It's nasty. Who knows? I have no idea. But we'll enjoy the journey. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.